Hi guys, so we're back again with the last lesson of our unit, and it's going to be kind of broken into 2 days. So today we're going to be going over our PowerPoint and taking notes because the next class we do have our unit test. So for today we're going to be going over this PowerPoint, and like I do at the end of every single class, I'm going to check and make sure that you did your notes just so I know that you have something to study for this little unit test we're taking next class. Second, we're going to start reading Thank You, Ma'am. It's just a short story and it's going to kind of open our lesson up over theme. That's what this is. And then we're going to kind of go over this PowerPoint after we read so we can learn more after we already have read the story. And then we're going to get our worksheets over theme and go from there. So now we're going to start with our essential questions, and those are what is theme, what is the difference between theme and main idea, and what are some popular themes in books and movies. So I want you guys to kind of remember these, and we're going to come back to those after we've read and after we've watched this PowerPoint. I'm going to ask you guys these again to make sure that we are understanding the differences and then what theme actually is after reading this story. So now let me pull up our story and we're just going to take some time to read this together and then go over some things that we hit in the story. So here I have our story pulled up. Thank You, Ma'am is just a short story. Kind of about a run-in with a super nice woman that's going to teach Roger a life lesson. And I think it's really important that we read this and kind of annotate along reading it because there are going to be questions on your test about this story. So now I'm going to give you about 15 minutes and we're just going to read on our own, and then we're going to finish our PowerPoint based off of this story. Okay, now that you guys have read and annotated, I'm going to read our I can statements, and those are basically that you can identify different types of theme after practicing with worksheets and watching this PowerPoint. And also receiving a 75 or higher on your test. And then you can identify a theme after this PowerPoint by completing your theme worksheet with 80% accuracy, and you guys can definitely do that. And so now we're going to get into the lesson after reading. So what is theme? Theme is the central idea of a story, or also what the author is trying to convey or get you guys to take away from this story. So how to find the theme is not really looking for it. You're going to read and you're going to find key points that the author is wanting you to take away from this story. And how I always found the theme was to find what I believe the message of the story was. Every story has kind of a message, just like Thank You, Ma'am. This is a good way to think about this. It says, theme also reflects the human condition. And by this, theme must always come back to why humans do what they do. For example, why did Roger steal in Thank You, Ma'am? What was the lesson in the story? And it all comes back to lesson on human nature and why we do what we do. So when reading it, I'm sure you guys picked up that it wasn't too much about stealing. It was about doing the right thing. And this woman had taught him that stealing wasn't okay, that he could have asked for help. He could have done a lot of other things besides taking away from her because he was missing out. So I added this little picture here, and it's the plot, story, and theme and what lies beneath. So it kind of shows that you have this theme that's hidden underwater that drops both plot and the story from beneath the surface. And I thought this was a cool diagram to kind of show you guys that theme isn't always seen or going to be spelled out to you. It's going to be kind of hidden, and you're going to have to look for it. So that was a good plot as well, or a good picture for that. I think this is also a really important thing to touch on, that theme doesn't always have to be original. So when you're looking for theme, it's not always going to be about finding love or finding friends or being honest. Sometimes it can be really difficult themes that you're not seeing as to be as original as all these other things that are listed. It's about kind of how the author wants the story to be told. So some themes are going to be a little bit more difficult to understand or find especially as you get into higher level reading. There's going to be a lot more difficult things to understand when trying to find the theme. These are examples of themes that are super popular among a lot of books, like love, good versus evil, courage, revenge, honesty, and coming of age. I know a lot of stories about love and compassion and honesty and even courage. Like I said earlier, themes are almost always hidden or unsaid. So themes aren't going to be told as, here's the theme of this story, and I want you to kind of see that this is the theme of the story. Theme is supposed to make the audience read between the lines to see what the actual story is about and what you're going to be taking away from that story. Sometimes you can read the whole book and not see what or where the theme was until you reflect back and actually look in between the lines of the story and what you took away from that story. Because sometimes it isn't going to be a common theme or idea among different types of stories. These are kind of more of the in-depth themes, like roles of females, regret, losing love, the evils of racism, fading beauty, and facing reality. I know in this day and age, a lot of people are coming out with different things that are a little sensitive, like the evils of racism or roles of females, things that weren't written about a lot back in the older times. So these are kind of new ideas that people are writing about. So these are going to be kind of the more complex themes.